Welcome back in, and I'll tell you what, we got a massive show for you one more time as we go through the COPA 2024. But this is my 500th show on YouTube, and you see these passes? Those are some of the passes that I've picked up over the last 20 years covering Team Canada. Yes, the national team, the Canadian men's national team, and also in between league teams and other events too. Yeah, there's some massive things. On this side, if you look closely, there's a FIFA World Cup pass there, all access. Over here, it's all Canada, Canada, Canada. That's 20 years in the business. I tell you what, got a great show for you. So I say to you, welcome in. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome in if it's your first time. If it is your first time, hit the like and subscribe, or as we say here, pay for your ticket. And I'll tell you, you've landed at the 2024 Copa America pre-game between Argentina, world champions numero uno, and Canada, 48th in the world. We got a massive game for you, but hey, these are the press badges, or some of the press badges that I've accumulated over 20 years. And like I say, this is the 500th show on YouTube. What we're going to cover on this one is the 2024 Copa form from both teams, Argentina and from Canada. We'll also do the head-to-head. We're going to go to the last 5 games. We're going to go to the last 10 games. Look at the top players of this match. We're going to give predictions of both semifinals, and we'll give you the game talk of this one. So let's kick it off right now. But like I say, 20 years in the making. And isn't it ironic that Canada-Argentina is 500 on YouTube for such a massive occasion? It must be perfect timing. It must mean the stars are aligning. Canadian fans, you've got to believe. Let's get into this right now. May 2004 was when it all began here in Canada, in the media after finishing playing, and that's where I first started. That's my first ever press badge. Yes, that's my mug, and that's my badge, and that's where I worked all those years ago. 20 years ago, that's where it started. Now, talking about some of the details between the two teams, Argentina and Canada, as we go into this. By the way, hit like and subscribe, guys. Let's grow this channel. Let's keep growing. And you know what? I'm so pumped, and I'm so glad I was wrong for one reason. You're going to hear about that pretty soon. But head-to-head form between Argentina and Canada, well, it's pretty simple, yeah? 2 games in so far. If you want the details, here we go. May 24th, 2010. Argentina 5, Canada 0. And then recently, 20th of June, 2024, here at the Copa America, Copa de la America, por favor. Then it was a 2-0 loss. It could have been worse, but 2-0 was all she wrote. And when we came out of that, I think we all said, yeah, 2-0 was not that bad considering. But we didn't play bad. But when you take on the world champions, that's kind of like how things turn out. Now, talking last 5, starting with the world champions, obviously, last 5, 4 wins, 1 draw, no losses. You'll hear about the losses pretty soon. Last 5 games, 10 goals scored, 2 against. Not bad, +8. Canada, last 5. It's not so bad. Peck her up, mate. It's pretty decent. 1 win in 5. Woo! 3 draws, but only 1 loss. Uno, just 1 loss. Yeah? And very stingy team. Don't score many, don't give up many. Last 5, 2 goals scored, but only 3 against. -1 for last 5. Considering the opponents we've taken on, we're batting above our weight. We're punching really well. Every team we played recently, apart from the last game, yeah, because they were ranked 54, Venezuela, 54, yeah. But everybody's been ranked above us, so you got to say, last 5's not so bad. Moving along, we'll take a look at some form. Now, as we're moving along, it's a big show, but I'll tell you what, I hope you can still hear me. Ecuador, last game against Argentina. Those guys were so unlucky that it didn't go better for them. I was so hoping it would, but it didn't. It nearly did, but they were so unlucky. So Argentina got a warning, a gypsy's warning already, that things are not perfect. And unless they bring top performances, things can go wrong for even a world champion. And Argentina has had bad days at big competitions in the past. I'm sure you can remember. And it's not just a World Cup either. But anyway, let's look at some of the finer points with Argentina. Number 1 in the world, like I say, great mixture of youth and top top experience. It's not just youth and experience, it's top experience. It's cutting edge, world class. Hence, they're number one in the world, and that's why they're on fire. One goal against in 4 games here at the Copa America. That's one goal in 360 minutes. They're also pretty stingy, but they've got great defenders, midfielders, forwards, bench, squad, coach, Scaloni. You'll hear about Scaloni in a second. But one thing about this team so far is the maestro, the messiah, yada yada. Messi has not hit form. In fact, at times, I found myself giggling at his miscomings or misfortune during the game sometimes, especially as he's getting bundled over and kicked around unceremoniously at times. But that's not normal for Lionel Messi. And he's had a bicker or two or a bitch word for the referee once in a while, complaining. If you've seen it, keep watching because Messi doesn't stand for any garbage. He will stand up for himself, and he does. So keep watching Messi losing his shit while he's getting kicked. And if Messi's not on form, well, Lautaro Martinez definitely has 4 goals, still leading the competition as top scorer. 2 games to go, or as I say, 3 games to go, and we'll know everything. 2 semifinals and a final, yeah? But Martinez is doing pretty well. Another Martinez, not Lisandro, the defender, but Emiliano Martinez. 3 Martinez players in Argentina in the starting 11, but Emilio Martinez, Aston Villa keeper. Great goalkeeper. And he's a great goalkeeper in a few ways, and he will figure in this game, I guarantee you. But with Martinez in goal, you have great hands, but you have a clever brain. And I want to say clever. He knows how to manage the game. He knows how to, as you would think, cheat at certain points. So it's not cheating. It's manipulating the rules and making things work your favor. And that's why I love the South American game, because a lot of things they do are done tongue-in-cheek. And sometimes even when you see the referee making horrendous calls, that's also done tongue-in-cheek. It's like giving you a favor and you'll give me a favor later. Yeah, it's like an unwritten code, but get used to it because it's not going to change. And that's the way it goes. But as for Emilio Martinez, the goalkeeper, listen, you got a guy there that manipulates the referee, manipulates the forwards on the other team, gets his defense sorted out before there's a problem. And when there is a problem, beware, because he's going to unleash that wrath on you. But he's a general in the penalty area, and he's a great asset for Argentina because 9 times out of 10, when it's going wrong, he'll collect the ball, steady the ship, calm it down, take a couple of extra seconds, and let that other team lose their flow and ebb in attack. There's a lot of good smarts about Emilio Martinez in goal for Argentina. He's a great goalkeeper. I love everything he does. Now, finishing on coach, Lionel Scaloni. It's not just one Lionel in Argentina, not just Lionel Messi, but Lionel Scaloni. Back in the day, it was frowned upon when he was hired. Even the likes of Maradona back in the day was not happy with his installment without any kind of experience. Well, check out the numbers on Mr. Scaloni because it's pretty damn good. August the 3rd, 2018, he took the job. So he's been there pretty much close to 6 years, yeah? 75 games, 53 wins, 16 draws, 6 losses. It's a freaking goal machine, 152 to 40 for plus 112. And the percentage, 70.67. Those are Guardiola, real Guardiola, Sir Alex Ferguson, Mourinho, Ancelotti, to name just a couple of coaches. Those are the numbers that he's got. Let's look at Canada. Before we get to Team Canada news, I want you to look at that picture. That picture there was me way back in the day with the dreads, the real long hair, yeah? I was doing the Lord of the Rings look, yeah? I wasn't really. I had that look before Lord of the Rings came around, and I'm being serious, and all my family know that. But the guy to the left, Jack Warner. Yeah, Jack Warner. I was literally laying into him with tough questions like no one else would. And people around were like, oh, my life. And you could see the look on Jack's face. He weren't too happy, was he? Were you, Jack? And I loved every second of it. That was 2007, when I was a member of the LOC, the local organizing committee for the 2007 U20 World Cup for Canada. Hi, Jack. Love you, mate. Oh, I tell you, I'm having a good time tonight. 500 shows. Remember that. Drop me a line down below. Tell me what you think. And if you've been here from the beginning or you've been here recently, tell me why you're here, what you like about the show, and what you hope the show is going to turn into. And we've got a World Cup coming in 2 years' time, and I'm going to be all over it on site. You better believe it. So we've got lots of good things coming. And don't forget, Wrexham fans, we've got another League One season coming. So just dropping that through, got to put some news there because, hey, you're the family. You know what we do. I'm keeping you informed. Now, Team Canada. Team Canada. 48 in the world. Solid team right now. Doing well under a new coach, Jesse March. And I really mean they're doing well. I like what I see. I really do. They're doing well. 1 goal against in 3 games. Decent. But now it's Argentina, who are 2.0 goals per average game since Mr. Scaloni, Lionel Scaloni, since that coach took over from 2018. Argentina are 2 goals per game on average. When we lost the last game, 2-0, 2-0, average scoreline. So we got to be better than average. We got to hold them off the board. But Canada will be prepared because, look, the last 4 games have been the best preparation this team's ever had in their lives. And we've seen some guys jump out of their skin. Schaffelberg especially. And let's keep a thought for Tejon coming back eventually from a broken leg. But we're going to have to be perfect. We need everybody fine, right across the board in defense, right across the board in midfield. And as we shuffle those 2 buses, I say 2 buses, the 2 banks, while Argentina tries to get through us, we've really got to cut down all the lanes, block the transition passes, and really be perfect throughout. The only thing we've got to add is that we need to score a goal, and that's something that's really traveling against Argentina. You're going to hear more, but Maxime Croupeau's got to be absolutely massive and will have to be brilliant again, and he too will figure in this game. Now, the last 10 for Canada, 3-3-4, 3 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses. 11 scored, 17 against, -6, 30% win ratio. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when you talk about Argentina, it's a different story. Last 10, Argentina, 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss for 80% win ratio. 80%, 30%. The last loss for Argentina was 2-0 against Uruguay, 21st of November, 2023. Staying with Canada, last loss for Canada was 2-0 recently against Argentina here at the Copa America. Prior to that, 4-0 loss to Holland with 4 second half goals. We don't need to go there. You know what I'm thinking about that one, but we are still yet to score in Argentina. That's the main thing in history. So 2 games in, we haven't done it. Remember, 5-0 loss, 2-0 loss. We're still yet to score. Will we score? What are you thinking? Will we score? Are we getting on the board? Are we forever to be shut out by Argentina and Emilio Martinez? Or are we going to score? Down below, tell me what you think. Will it be 3rd time lucky? That's the point. Coach Jesse March's numbers. Have a look at this. With Canada, 6 games in, 1 win, 3 draws, 2 losses, 2 goals scored, 7 against for -5, 16.6% on a win record. 16.6. Scaloni is 70.6. Do you see that difference? And remembering back in the day, right, like I said, Argentina and the likes of Maradona and the real experts in Argentinian football were not happy with his installation. Moving along, let's take a look at the game talk. Before we get to the game talk, that's a picture of me on my first assignment at Commonwealth Stadium, the big white elephant, 60,000 seater stadium. Yeah, 60,000 seats that never gets filled. That's why I call it, many people don't, but I call it the white elephant, because unless it's a massive event, it ain't getting filled. But great stadium. It's been fixed up over the years, but that's my first assignment. And that game there was Canada taking on Honduras. And I actually had fans, Honduras fans, throwing bags of shit at me. I'm not kidding you. And a guy called Darren Dennehy was their head of security. And he said to me, Steve, I think you better leave. And I'm like, Darren, I'm going nowhere. This Canadian flag don't run. And I'm being serious. Yeah. So, guys, tell me down below how you've enjoyed the Copa America. Are you in shock that Canada is in this semi-final? Because I'm sure Argentinian fans, this is normal. But they're probably thinking, oh, we got an easy game again. Canada, we're going to win 2-0, maybe 3-0, could be 4 or 5, but we're going to win. That's what they're thinking. No doubt about it. And you can't blame them. I mean, they're number one, right, in the world. But are you in shock that we are where we are? Because it's rather nice, but it's rather unusual. And when you think about massive games for Canada, think about this. We've won a Gold Cup, yeah, a couple of them, big competitions. Haven't really done too much else. We've got to a World Cup 2 times too. But when you think in intercontinental championships, you know, like the size of Copa America, which is massivo, it's huge, it's gigantic. It doesn't get really much bigger. It's on the levels, if not better, than Euro 2024, who are on parallel with semi-finals and finals. Yeah, 3 games to go. We'll know everything there too. But here, it's a case of it's massive. Now, I've got a couple of points that I want you to hoist in here. Canada, do we have a chance? Realistically, now, ask yourself, do you think we have a chance? And I say, yeah, we do. Absolutely. You know, David and Goliath is the title on this one. Absolutely. No doubt about it. That is the tag. David and Goliath. Canada has fought some great battles over the last couple of years. But undoubtedly, again, this is going to be the biggest game we've ever had. You can argue that point if you like with the Gold Cups, etc. But for my money, and I've been watching this team many, many years, as you know, 20 plus years in the media, longer than that as a fan. For my money, this is the biggest, most exciting game we're ever going to get. The next best thing would be a final. Is it possible? Do we have a chance? Down below, tell me what you're thinking. I think there are reasons and are grounds to give us hope that it can happen, but things have to happen. The other thing is, since the first game against Argentina, which was 2-0, as you know, we've grown. We've grown as a team through adversity, through the bad media that we've become from the media, just through the media, from other teams, etc. We've always been the team playing on the road as well. We're not the team with 1 million fans. I love it when you see Canadian fans at these games. Let's face it, there too, it's David and Goliath. We're outnumbered, sorely outnumbered. But again, it's beautiful, bellissimo, hermoso to see Canadian fans at the game live. It really is. It's phenomenal. Who's stronger in this game? And when I say that, who is stronger in this game, is a case of game 5, Cinco for both teams. Game 5 for both teams. But who's weary? Who's stronger? Who's grown as a team? Argentina can't really grow anymore, can they? But they can get arrogant and sit on their laurels and maybe throw a bad game. They've already beaten Argentina's already beaten Canada once. Are they going to be tested? Are they going to be up for it? There's another reason to think that this could be an important game for Canada should things go right. Remember the Venezuela game. 54 in the world, Canada 48. Venezuela touted as the big champions going through 3 games. Even I gave them massive respect, which you needed to. You had to. But again, I'm going to say, who's grown as a team? Canada or Argentina? Like I say, 4 games in this competition, going back again to play a team that's beaten you once. It's not uncommon to put in a better display. As long as Canada keep Argentina off the board. And finally, on this game here, expect a teasing game. Argentina don't need to rush the motion. They'll pick time. They'll waste time. They'll manage the clock so that you don't score. But eventually they're going to pick the lock with 1 or 2 intricate passes from genius players. And you know the likes of. It could be Lautaro Martinez. It could be the man himself, Lionel Messi. It could be Angel Di Maria. There's a whole host of guys. It could be Alvarez. I could go on all night talking the praises of the beautiful football players from Argentina, and so could you. But again, the longer this game goes with no score, the better the chances are for Canada. And the longer it goes with no score, the more it's going to turn into a wonderful Copa America pressure cooker where things start to get a little bit nasty. And as it gets nasty, the cards start to fly. And as them cards start to fly, oh yeah, you see many, 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 many yellow cards as people are kicking lumps out of each other. Yeah? Then eventually you see too many yellows and it'll turn into possibly a red. This is the kind of game that you could see a red card coming. Guaranteed many yellows. But I'm telling you now, this game has the potential to be absolutely a bomb for entertainment. When I say a bomb, it's going to be exploding everywhere. There's going to be something to talk about every 2 seconds. There's going to be absolute game management, manipulation from both teams in various ways. But the cunning, not cheating, and the fast ball plays and the top players will make the difference on the day. And remember, it's David versus Goliath. Who are you choosing to win? What's the scoreline? Do you think Canada's got a chance? Is this one-way traffic with Argentina filling the net and maybe filling it for 5 times? Or does Canada do something they've never done? Score a goal. Down below, let me know. I think you can tell I'm a little bit pumped up for this one, and I'm really full of passion for this game. 500 shows. The stars are aligning. It's something special coming. Here's my prediction. Take a look. Hey, before we forget it, there's another semi-final too, yeah? There's my prediction on that one. Take a butcher's. Down below, tell me what you're thinking. What's the score on that one? Have a look. Yeah. Next show, we'll be covering the Copa America final. And I tell you now, if Canada's in the final, I hope I don't have a heart attack, or other people too, because it probably would be the biggest dream come true that you could ever have. I've lived in Canada over 30 years, in the media, just over 20 years now. There's never been such a massive high. I'm calling for you right now, you that's been with the show all the way through. I'm demanding you tell me what you're thinking about this game, what you're feeling. It's time for us to let people know how we feel. We haven't had this before. You haven't had this before. I haven't had this before. Down below, tell me what you're thinking. Tell me how you're feeling about such a massive game. This is no bullshit. This is the biggest thing we ever had. Biggest thing we've ever had. And the next game, we're talking the final. I hope and I pray that Canada is in that game on that day. And all I'll say is this: get ready for a nail biter, Canada fans. We made history with the win against Peru. We're looking to make more history by advancing with a win against Argentina, a team you know I have mucho respeto for, much respect for. And I do respect the great man Messi as well, who hasn't shown up really, but we've got a massive game coming and everything to go for, nothing to lose. So 500 shows down. For such an occasion, you've got to ask yourself, are the stars aligning? Are they aligning? Go Canada, go. Let's have it. Cheers.